Boom, we're recording. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Episode 2, the Tank Pod. Jack's back. We're going to talk a little bit WWE. I watched Wrestlemania, first time in my life I've ever watched professional wrestling. We're going to talk a little bit about the quarantine, what he's doing at home. And Jack also spent a little time in the kitchen today. So first and foremost, how are you hanging in there? How are you doing just staying at the house without school?
Yeah, I'm still doing well. I mean, I'm doing well with the working with the school from home portion of it. And by the way, for the cooking, we created some lemon drop cookies.
What gave you that idea? Why did you want to do a little cooking in the kitchen today?
I don't know. My mom had she made a schedule for the thing because she's an actual teacher, and for a bit of 30 minutes we had home economics, which actually wasn't part of school, and she let us cook the cookies on our own. The only mistake I made was that when I put them on the pan, I tried making 20 cookies. So I put a bit of dough on the edge, and my mom told me that it would melt off the side because you know how they expand when they're cooking. Okay, so we had to do 16 cookies instead of 20.
And that's what you'll learn that as you go along. Whenever you are putting something, especially when you're baking it and you put it in the oven, you want to make sure it's kind of clean around the edges. For one, it's going to burn and it's going to smell, and then if it falls off whatever you've got there and lands, then it's going to burn and it's going to be terrible. So that is one thing I will encourage you. Having a mother like you have, who is as good of a cook and knows, like, there's a difference between being able to cook and actually having the skill set and knowing the dynamics of cooking like your mom does. Take advantage of that and let her teach you everything. I promise, when you're in college or when you're in a situation like we're in now where there's no restaurants open, you're going to be happy you know how to cook.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, so let's talk Wrestlemania. So first off, we'll get into the gambling aspect of it. We'll break down Saturday and Sunday. So you gave us all your picks. Saturday, not so hot. So how did you do?
Yeah.
How did you do Saturday?
I went 4 for 8. The 4 picks I got right were, let's see, I'm trying to remember. The women's tag team championship match. I picked Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross to win that, and that did happen. And then do you know what the second match was?
Was that the Daniel Bryan one?
No. I chose wrong on the Daniel Bryan one.
And that was one of the things I had made a note of here was I thought that Daniel Bryan was like one of my top 3 matches. The thing that upset me a little bit with him was he had it won, and then he lost focus, if you remember, and he left the ring late to go after the 2 douchebags that were out there that were helping the other dude. So he lost focus for a second. When he came back in, then he got stuck. Was that not kind of what happened there?
Well, I think what happened, I don't know if he ran off toward them. All he did was jump off the top rope, and he hesitated for just like a split second, and then he got kicked.
Yeah, he lost focus, I think, a little bit on maybe what was going on in the ring. He turned his attention away a little bit from from what was going on in there, and then it ended up costing him. So Saturday, all said and done, we'll start with the worst. What did you think was the worst match on Saturday?
I would say that Sami Zayn Daniel Bryan match.
What didn't you like about it?
I didn't like how the other 2 D-bags, Shinsuke and Cesaro, they weren't banned from ringside because on a championship match like that, the managers are usually banned from ringside.
Okay. How does that affect it, you think, when you have those guys in there? Like what part of that don't you like, or what is it you think the reason they have those guys banned from being there?
Like it would cause too much of a distraction, and probably the ref would catch it, and then they would they would send them to the locker room in the first place. So they should have been banned from ringside in the first place.
Without the crowd there, like, I mean, I've told you a couple times, this was the first time I have ever watched, especially where it was being broadcast live. I think some of this was kind of canned stuff, but being the fan that you are, and as much as you've watched, how much did this stuff, like the not having a crowd, did that change the whole viewing experience for you?
Oh yeah, definitely. If there was a crowd, probably the match would be altered. Maybe Daniel Bryan would have beat Sami Zayn. But because there wasn't any crowd, and any crowd to realize that Nakamura and Cesaro, the two people with Sami, what's it called? If there were a crowd, they would have been caught. And if there weren't, they probably wouldn't have been caught.
So you've been to the wrestling live before, like you've been in the crowd.
Oh yeah, like I've been to a couple Raws, a couple SmackDowns. I've been to a WWE live event in Pueblo. Yeah.
So how much difference do you think the crowd makes? Like, is it from the athlete standpoint, do you think it's something that, I mean, it kind of has to suck for them, right? Doing that there without the crowd around?
Definitely.
Okay. So the other observation I had was, I don't want it's gimmicky might not be the right word, but when the ladder match that was on Saturday. So
Oh yeah, I didn't like that one either.
see, I liked the ladder match. I thought it was a little longer than it needed to be, but the premise of those guys having to climb the ladder and get the belt, like, I thought those three guys put on a pretty good show.
Oh yeah, they did. And the ladder match was actually shorter than it usually is. A ladder match usually takes like 10 to 20 minutes. Actually takes a while.
Now okay, go ahead, sorry.
Because when you climb up to the top, somebody comes back into the ring from being down, and then they push you down. It's pretty much like that the whole match until there's a surprise. Yeah.
And the one thing that I was a little confused about was it seemed like it took them a long time when they were alone and set up to climb up the ladders. The part that I thought was crazy was, and I have spaced the gentleman that won the ladder, won the two belts.
Oh yeah.
Him falling when he took the two belts from those guys and fell off that ladder and landed on the other ladder. I don't care how soft that other ladder is, like, that's gonna hurt.
Yeah, exactly. Also, that part was extremely stupid. Like, it was supposed to be a triple threat tag team ladder match, but because the person who won the ladder match, John Morrison, his partner, The Miz, he caught the coronavirus, so it had to be a triple threat match between John Morrison, Kofi Kingston representing the New Day with Big E, and then Jimmy Uso representing the Usos with Jey Uso.
So typically, that ladder match is a tag team ladder match.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't know that, so that makes a little more sense. Now, one thing I did.
So it's supposed to be.
Gotcha. So I took a couple notes here. Let me look at the phone. This is actually, and I don't remember which tag team was on Saturday. It might have been one of the women's that was the tag team on Saturday. But I was curious. I had noticed this, so I made a note to ask you. Excuse me. in the tag team matches, after the tag is made, okay, after they make the tag, how long that legal fighter that's in the ring that makes the tag, how long do they have to leave the ring? Because I saw them tagging their partner coming in the ring, but them hanging out in the ring and either holding the person up or doing something to allow their partner to strike them. Like, what's the rule there?
You know how there was the Edge and Randy Orton last man standing match? How it was
the
a
one that
referee's
took
count of 10?
Yeah, the one that took 5 hours, the Sunday one where they ended up on top of the truck. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's a ref's count of 10, just like a last man standing match.
So when you tag, when you're in the arena or when you're in the rink and you tag your partner, you can stay in there with your partner for 10 seconds against the one person.
Or you can stay with the ref's count of 10, which is about 30 seconds to a minute.
See, that doesn't seem fair to me. Like that's a way for you to turn it into like a 2-on-1. I mean, you've watched a lot of sports. A lot of things can happen in 30 seconds.
Yes. Like, I sometimes don't like that rule either, but it is what it is.
So that's just something they're gonna do. That's just something I'm gonna have to deal with as I get into watching the wrestling. Mm-hmm. Okay, so that stuff happens on Saturday.
Wait, hold on.
Yes.
The 4 I got right. So I got right the what's it called? The women's tag team title match.
Yep.
The Boneyard match.
Yep.
The Universal title match. And then what was the 4th one?
I don't remember, because the one with the girl that was from South Dakota against the man, we had picked girl from South Dakota, right? Because the man won. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna be honest, man. I don't remember that 4th one.
Wait, just start spitting matches out at me, and I'll see if I can recall it.
I don't know if you bet me $1,000.
Oh wait, I think I've got it. I think it was the NXT Women's Championship match between Charlotte and Rhea Ripley. I don't know if that was on Saturday or Sunday.
What? The Charlotte Flair one?
Yeah.
I think that was the first match on Saturday.
That was the second match on Saturday.
Or second match on Saturday. So yeah.
Oh, so yeah, that was it.
So, all right. Graveyard match. Is that something that had happened in the past before? Or was it graveyard or boneyard? What do they call it? Graveyard, boneyard? So in the boneyard.
WWE, they call it a boneyard.
Had they done that kind of style of a match before?
They've done like a part that was featured in a boneyard, and they did a boneyard match. I don't remember who the other boneyard match was. I think the Undertaker was involved again, but I think there was one in a boneyard, and it was on WCW, which was a part of WWE. It was another brand from 1991 to 2001.
Okay, so when you're live, like at the ones that you've went to in person, are they going to canned stuff? Like, where I kind of understand this weekend was different. I think all of that had been shot ahead of time. But when you were there in person in the arena, is there stuff that they go to on the Jumbotrons around there that you're watching while they either change stuff around in the arena, or when you're live, is everything happen in front of you?
Like, they sometimes show stuff on the like, one time there's like a talk show that The Miz did, the one that caught the coronavirus. He has like his like little talk show called Miz TV. And they set up for that while I was watching something on the Jumbotron, but with the setting up part of it, I think that's the only time that's ever happened.
Gotcha. So they'll do a little bit of diversion sometimes in when you're live, but nothing like they did this weekend where they were, kind of showing the stuff. Yeah. Okay, before we do Sundays, because Sunday,
wrestling's
okay.
completely scripted. So.
Well, yeah, it's all there. It's entertainment.
Yeah, it's like rehearsed ahead of time.
Got you. But I'm gonna guess that when you guys are watching it live, and when you're there inside of the arena, they have a lot less room for error. Whereas like Wrestlemania this weekend, like I read an article today or yesterday on that Boneyard brawl when the arm went through the limousine, that he actually cut his arm up pretty bad. So they ended up, it took 8 hours to shoot that. So that's the kind of stuff when you're shooting to tape that you can do, as opposed to when they're in front of you guys and there's, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60,000 people there. Even if you have a little screw up, you're still going.
Yeah. Like some parts aren't scripted. Like there was like one of the parts was in a match between Charlotte Flair and Naomi, or it was Charlotte Flair and Nia Jax, who by the way made her return last night on Raw. It was like, so Charlotte Flair was trying to kick Nia Jax in the corner, but she got her arm up and it broke her nose, and she was sidelined for a while.
So when that happens, like let's say they go in there and they're like, all right, you guys are going to go. Charlotte, you're going to do your deal. Charlotte knows they're going to put on a show, but she's going to come out with the win. If that would have happened the other way, like, do you think it happens to the point where if that lady breaks Charlotte's nose, is Charlotte still going to finish that match and be the winner? Or do you ever think anything that dramatic happens in a match?
It actually can happen. Like there have been lots of injuries that sometimes actually are scripted. They're willing to injure themselves if it's just like a minor injury.
That's where they talk about like the guys that used to get the blades out back in the day and give themselves a little cut or something like that.
Oh yeah. Like hold on. It's at the tip of my tongue. Never mind.
No, you're all right. We'll think of it. We got time.
Yeah.
So Sunday now, from the gambling standpoint, you did substantially better. Yes. How many did you get right on Sunday?
6. I got 5 in a row.
No, yeah, you were on a heater there. I can't remember which match it was. It was the one after Otis, I think, because you were on a heater, and then, man, I don't remember the one that beat us, but
I think it was the I believe the triple threat ladder match was the one that beat me.
Oh, okay. Was the ladder on Sunday?
Wait. I think so. I don't know.
I'll be honest. I don't remember either.
I think it was either on Sunday or Saturday. Like, I'm pretty sure the one that sidelined me was the Kevin Owens Seth Rollins one.
Yes, because
the one that was turned into a no disqualification match.
Yeah, because what's his name won, and then he wins the match. He pins Seth Rollins outside, and then, or no, whatever he did, he beat Rollins because Rollins hit him with the bell, right? That was the one where he grabbed the bell.
Yeah, that was a disqualification.
Yeah, and so that's right. Rollins hit him with the bell, got DQ'd, and then did Rollins end up winning that fight?
No, Kevin Owens did.
Gotcha.
Kevin Owens ended up winning, but then he said he wanted a no disqualification match. Then Kevin Owens won the no disqualification match.
Got you, but you had picked Seth Rollins.
Yes.
Okay, see, that's where we'll differ moving forward. Like, there's a couple guys just from the first. I will never pick Seth. I don't like Seth Rollins. I will never pick Seth Rollins to win. He's kind of like the Packers. I never picked the Packers to win. I just don't like the Packers. So Rollins, I did like, and we're a little biased because Otis wrestled in Pueblo for the Thunderwolves, but I thought he put on. It was a top 3 match, I thought, of the whole weekend. I think they did a very good show.
It was definitely the most personal match.
Yeah, and
because
they just I don't think those two guys like each other, man.
No, they didn't.
And does that have to do with there being a blonde? Like when there's a hot blonde involved, does that make things worse?
Yeah. Usually a hot blonde makes everything worse.
Yeah, just write that down, man. You're gonna want to know that for a while moving forward. So now,
wait,
Otis.
So I have a prediction to make.
Okay, let's hear it.
Okay. So I bet in a couple of weeks there's going to be a mixed match tag team match, which is basically a boy and a girl team up against a boy and a girl. And if a boy tags in a girl, the girl must come in, even though the boy was in and wasn't tagged, and vice versa.
So they don't ever it's not ever boy on girl. It's always lady versus lady, man versus man in the ring.
Yeah, but there have been a couple of matches where it was man versus lady. Like at Wrestlemania, I think, or like as a precursor to Wrestlemania, I think in like the year 2000, Chris Jericho faced Trish Stratus, or it was Christian facing Trish Stratus. I'm not sure, but let's come on. There was also China, the wrestler who, by the way, died the same day Prince did. And hold on. And she was featured in a lot of men's matches. Like also in the Royal Rumble match. There have been, hold on, let me calculate. I think 3 or 4 women that have been in the men's Royal Rumble match, even though they have a women's Royal Rumble match now. That started in 2016, though.
Now, when you're talking about your prediction for that man woman versus man woman, the mixed,
yeah.
What platform do you see that happening on?
I bet it'll be on a pretty big platform because it will be Otis and Mandy versus Dolph Ziggler and Sonya Deville, once Mandy's friend.
And it doesn't matter. Okay, so Otis
the lesbian one.
Otis and
Sonya's the lesbian one.
Otis and Mandy, right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter how fat Otis is. Like
no,
Mandy,
he's super fast.
Mandy makes that work. So yeah. I'm Otis and Mandy from here on out. So and that Ziggler's the other one. I don't like him. So he I don't know. I'll be honest, the wife sat there with me when we were watching these, and there were a couple times that she was like, you're not seriously gonna get into this, are you? And then there were other times that she enjoyed it. The matches where they stayed, I like the matches that stay in the ring and that work fast.
Yeah, but it is what it is, for one. And also, there are some like special matches which actually make the match funner. Like, some of the crazy match stipulations include a hog pen match, where you have to throw your opponent in a hog pen, where Hunter Hearst Helmsley, like, before he was, like, the more medieval type of Triple H, you know who he is, right?
Yes.
Okay. He faced a guy named Henry O. Godwin, and he beat Henry O. Godwin, but Godwin threw him into the slop anyway. And another match, there has been a Buried Alive match. These are mainly featured on The Undertaker versus his brother Kane. And Kane won both of those matches.
So wait, hold up. So Undertaker has a brother.
Yes.
That's Okay, so tell me more about that. I did not know this. This is news to me. So
Okay.
okay.
So here's the story. The Undertaker, when he was little, he set his parents on fire, and it deformed Kane, and Kane stayed in his basement facing mental issues when he was little, when Undertaker buried him. And I learned this from a clip on a WWE Try Not to Laugh. He's like this, okay? I was locked up in my basement in my childhood. I was facing several mental issues when hold on. I won't exactly quote it because it'll be voice plagiarism.
Yeah, we don't want to do that. Let's don't get shut down before we get started.
Oh yeah. I was locked in my basement, facing several mental issues when my brother set my parents on fire. I buried my brother alive twice.
Undertaker said that?
No, Kane.
And Kane buried Undertaker.
Yes. So
why do I? So I shouldn't like Undertaker then? I feel bad for liking him.
No, Undertaker is actually one of the greatest wrestlers ever.
That burned his parents.
But that was when he was little, and it was just.
Okay. Well, Jack, technically,
it's just like the only bad thing.
Technically, that's a pretty big bad thing. Technically, you're little. Don't burn your parents. So,
I won't.
Okay, who's his brother? His name is Kane?
Yes.
So if I just search Kane WWE, all right, here we go. Let's look at Kane.
He's now the mayor of a city in Tennessee.
What? Holy cow, he is. He's the mayor of Knox County, Tennessee.
Oh, he is?
It's just what it says.
Oh, something that big. I never realized.
Yeah, he's the mayor of Knox. He is the mayor of Knox County. That's crazy.
Okay.
He is 7 foot tall, 323 pounds. That's a big man right there.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
And when he said that part, it was on a 2013 thing where she's not a hot blonde, but she's a hot dark hair, and she was once.
So she's like a hot brunette then.
Yeah, hot brunette.
Okay, call her
and
hot
she
brunette.
was and she was once the general manager of Raw, and she sent the Kane and his then partner Daniel Bryan to anger management because they were angry. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's when he said that.
Nice. So what else Sunday? The match is on Sunday. Can we both agree that the Edge, was it Edge and Randy Orton? Was that the fight? That was terrible. Are we both agreeing that was terrible? You don't have to agree with me. You can like it. I thought, dude, that was way too long for me.
But that's the normal length of a last man standing match. Because it takes like forever to keep an opponent down for 30 seconds to a minute. You need to go seriously into it. And I like how it goes from like many places. Like there was the largest last man standing match in an area of place. It took place in a different city than the match was based in.
So they traveled.
Yeah. So they were in their car, and then they traveled to a different city.
Okay.
Like 5 miles west of it. And hold on. I'm trying to think of it. It was like late 90s, so I don't really remember it.
Well, no, that's because you're at late 90s. Your dad and I were still in high school, so you probably don't remember it. So one thing I'm gathering from what you're telling me is the type of match that they are participating in might have a lot to do with the rhythm and the time it takes for it to play out.
Yes, it does.
And then the finale, on Sunday night. Did you expect that?
I mean, I picked it right, but like after the match, like the Drew McIntyre Brock Lesnar match, I didn't expect the Big Show to come in, and they did another match. And what's even more weird is that Drew McIntyre won again, and he faced the Big Show, who's like 7 foot tall, 383 pounds instead of 323.
Okay, hold on. So I didn't see this. When did they show you that was that on? That didn't happen Sunday night during the broadcast.
I don't think it was actually broadcasted. This is just what my dad told me. So Drew McIntyre beats Brock Lesnar when Drew McIntyre was being interviewed 20 minutes after the match. He was challenged by the Big Show to another world title match, and then Drew McIntyre beats him. And I calculated this. I saw the match. It was actually broadcasted by one of the cameramen. The total amount of claymores Drew McIntyre did on that night was 6 claymores. 4 in the Brock Lesnar match and 2 in the Big Show match.
Okay, so that means he worked pretty hard then that night for his money.
Yep.
Now,
there are 2 people that are hard to take down. Like, Brock Lesnar is probably like the hardest to take down ever since he returned in 2012. And he debuted in the year 2002 and he ended in 2003. Well, anyway, hold on, what was I thinking of? Well, Brock Lesnar.
We're talking about Lesnar. So
yeah.
Yeah, because he's a big boy. Is he?
He's only, although he's 6'3", 295. That's actually, it's maybe a bit big, but it's not too big.
That's a big boy. And when you're gonna fight when you're fighting, that's a big boy right there. So yeah, I don't want anything like that.
But he's 295 pounds. That's sometimes a bit easy to take down. But if he was this impossible to take down, if weight was based in how hard it is to take you down, he'd be like over 450 pounds. Because he kicked out of being hit. There was a Brock Lesnar Rey Mysterio match and for the world title, and Rey Mysterio was hit by a lead pipe, took 2 frog splashes, one by Rey and one by Rey's son Dominic, and he kicked out that. And Rey Mysterio and Dominic were both pinning him, trying to win the title by kicked out.
So he's a tough dude to take down.
Yes, and then the Big Show, he's pretty tough to take down as well, but not as tough as Brock Lesnar actually.
No, I wouldn't want to have to try to take down either one of those 2 guys, but it depends. It depends how much money you were getting. I'd get in there for.
And he probably earned a lot of money.
No, I can assure you, those guys. I'm betting they're making pretty good money.
Yeah.
Okay, so Monday Night Raw, right?
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, we turned on a movie, Hell or High Water. We watched it on Netflix. Sneaky great movie about a little bank robbery in Texas. So I didn't watch the Raw. Excuse me, but what storylines played over from WrestleMania that kind of showed up in Raw? First of all, wait, how did they do Raw? Was it back at the training center, no audience, that stuff?
Yeah. It's been like that ever since like early March.
Okay, so then they're just playing it out. They're continuing on with the story, not changing up anything. They're just doing it with no crowd. So
also,
what did we learn Monday night then?
Hold on. Let's take it back to Sunday night
when
there was the Street Profits versus Angel Garza and Austin Theory. So the Street Profits beat Garza and Theory, but Garza and Theory attacked them after the match. And then Montez Ford's wife, Bianca Belair, another one from NXT, she came in and attacked Zelina Vega. then we go to Monday night. And then the same thing happens.
Wait. Where did you see that they attacked him? Like, where are you getting that from?
It was after the WrestleMania match.
But you're seeing this Monday night on Raw.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay.
All right. So they attacked them again. Bianca Belair came in again, did a little bit of talking, and then challenged the manager of Garza and Theory, Zelina Vega, to a match, and then Belair beat Vega easily.
That was on Monday Night in Raw.
Yeah.
Okay. What other?
I didn't watch all of it because I was playing some video games.
That's okay, man. We're all doing stuff to try to pass the time.
Yep. Like, I've got to wait until like either April 17th or April 30th until further notice that school will be canceled for the rest of the year.
I'm gonna make a prediction right now, bud. You're not going back to school this year, so you enjoy this while you can. I know it's hard, but you'll probably not ever get to do this again in your life. And enjoy the time being at home with mom and dad and everything. So, okay, we need to wrap it up. What's next? What's my next wrestling event I'm going to be looking for?
So we've got 2 wrestling events tomorrow. First off, we've got NXT that will be on channel USA.
Okay.
I think it's at either 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock p.m.
Okay.
And I think there's going to be, I think it's actually NXT TakeOver on USA. I think it's the first time that's going to be on a Wednesday because it's usually on a Saturday or Sunday.
Okay.
Okay, and 2 matches that will be featured on that card. Well, so you've got 2 people who have been in a rivalry for months. Johnny Gargano, aka the Rebel Heart, and Tommaso Ciampa, the Black Heart. They've tried teaming up twice and actually did pretty well, winning the tag team championships once. But when they lost the tag team championships, Ciampa attacked Gargano, and then they faced each other in a Chicago street fight on another edition of NXT TakeOver.
Okay, wait, hold on. That's a Chicago street fight's a good way to get shot. But okay, keep going.
And
what'd we do? Did we just lock up?
Okay,
there we go.
All right. So Ciampa beat Gargano. It was by DDTing Gargano onto concrete. In fact, history on the move of the DDT, it started by wrestler Jake the Snake Roberts.
I've heard of him.
Who's currently a manager on AEW, which will also appear tomorrow. The DDT, it originally standard for probably like Damien's death. Damien's dinner time was the one among more belief because Jake the Snake Roberts had a pet snake named Damien, and Jake the Snake Roberts did the DDT a lot, and he attributed it to Damien.
Okay, so that's what we're looking for tomorrow night.
Wait, no. Well, we're looking for the Johnny Gargano Tommaso Ciampa match. And then there will also be a 6-woman ladder match.
That's
that
too
will
many. That's a lot of women.
Yeah. It will determine the number 1 contender for the NXT Women's Championship, who would face Charlotte, I don't know when. And I don't remember all 6 of them. So we're just going to leave it with that. And then we've got AEW, which is tomorrow, All Elite Wrestling. Jake the Snake Roberts is the manager for Lance Archer, who's currently 1-0 on AEW. And Lance Archer, his motto is everybody fights, everybody dies. Because, like, he fights people and they die. Oh, they die.
Yeah.
And And I think it will be the first round of the TNT Championship tournament for the first ever TNT Championship. Lance Archer will face one of the commentators, Colt Cabana. And I'm looking to see Colt Cabana being decimated, but at least one punch will be Colt Cabana to Lance Archer. But he's not gonna feel it. He's like 6'7", 300 pounds. He has about the build of Hulk Hogan, but not with the muscles and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right on. Okay. Well,
All right.
we're gonna wrap her up, man. We'll be watching that tomorrow night. We'll get back together. We'll discuss and figure out what we're gonna do moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Thanks, Jack.
Yeah.
Cool.
Make sure to like and subscribe.
We will do it, man. We will do it. Tell mom and dad hi.
Okay.
Later, man.
All right. Make sure to like and subscribe.
Like
and subscribe.
Do both.
Okay. Yeah.
Right on, man. Laters.
Laters. See ya.